to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my December new releases video. So this is the video I do every month where I go through and talk about the new releases that are coming out in December that I am excited for. Now, December is traditionally a less busy time when books are being published. I mean, there are still, of course, new releases coming out, but compared to some of the other months that we've had, this list isn't quite as big. But I still have over 20 books on this list, so there's still quite a few to talk about, and I'm just going to run through them all. As always, I don't know very much about them, so I'll just kind of tell you a little bit about them and why I'm interested in them and talk about the synopsis a little bit. So let's dive into the list. So the first book I have on the list is called The Last Vampire by Romina Garber, and this one is obviously a vampire book, which we all know I love a vampire book, and the tagline for this is Pride and Prejudice meets Crave. When Austen-loving Lorena Navarro attends a new boarding school expecting to find her own Mr. Darcy, but accidentally finds the world's last vampire instead. So sounds really interesting. I will be honest, looking at the average rating on Goodreads, it's not got the best average rating. It's got a 3.45 and it came out at the beginning of December, so not the best average rating, but I am still interested to check this out at some point. I wonder if my library will get a copy of it. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what I make of this one. Then we have In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams, and I'm really excited for this one. This is book 4 in the When in Rome series, and I actually have a arc of this from NetGalley, so I'm currently reading it at the moment, and this one as I say, I'm very excited for. So this is a series of small town romances. It's been set in this town called Rome, Kentucky, and follows this family. And this is going to be Madison and James's romance, and their romance has been teased throughout the series. So I'm really looking forward to getting on with this one. I think it's going to be a great time, and I can't wait to see what happens in this one. I don't want to read too much into it because, as I say, I'm currently reading it, but I am really excited for this one. And if you haven't caught up on the series or haven't read the series, I definitely recommend checking it out if you like small town romances. Then we have Seeing Other People by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broker. This one is, I'm not sure if this is young adult or adult, because they do write in both genres. And it says it's an emotional slow burn romance. Two people haunted by their exes find that love isn't dead in this heartfelt romance from the beloved authors of The Roughest Draft. Morgan is being ghosted by her ex. No, really, it's sad. Zach died and became a ghost, but Morgan and Zach only ever went on the one date, and now she's being haunted by him. Oh, that's interesting. Zach has no desire to spend eternity with Morgan, but he can't recall his past and he doesn't know how to move on. At a support group for humans and their haunters, Morgan and Zach run into Sawyer, whose fiancé turned ghost has started to fade. Unlike Morgan, Sawyer isn't ready to part ways with his ghost. Although they faced opposite issues, Morgan and Sawyer decide to work together to solve their problems. As Morgan and Sawyer try to solve their paranormal conundrums together, they find something even more surprising, a tender, growing affection between them that threatens any unfinished business they're seeking to close. The ghost of their past might be there in spirit, but the connection between Morgan and Sawyer is as alive as anything they've ever felt. Okay, that sounds like a really interesting premise, so I'm definitely intrigued to see how that gets pulled off. Yeah, that's very interesting. I hadn't actually really read the synopsis for that one. I just added it to my list because I've read from that author duo before and liked some of their books, so definitely interested to see what I make of that one. Then we have In a Heartbeat by Laura Pavlov. This is book 5 in the Rosewood River series. No, I'm not up to date with this series, but I love Laura Pavlov's writing, and so I definitely wanted to mention it. I love the cover for this one, and this is her current small town romance series that she's writing. I'm not sure if this is the last one or if there's going to be more books, but this one says, Wren Waterstone isn't just one of the most decorated equestrians in the world. She was also my best friend for as long as I can remember. until she wasn't. Now she's back in Rosewood River, and thanks to a temp agency, Wren has been placed at my ranch. I have no intention of allowing my ex-best friend to work for me, but when I see the desperation in her eyes, I can't turn her away, even though I know I should. Old habits die hard. Seeing her every day is more challenging than I expected. She's guarded, wounded, and she looks at me like I'm the enemy. I need to know why. The more time we spend together, the more the lines between past and present blur, and we find our way back to one another. The only problem is she's got big dreams to chase, and I only want to chase her. I've loved this girl my entire life, and our time apart didn't change that. I let Wren Waterstone get away once. Am I really going to make that mistake again? Oh, that one sounds really good. So yeah, I definitely need to get a move on and read the rest of the books in the series to get up to date. Next we have Bluebird Gold by Devney Perry, which is book 1 in the Lost Legends series. This is a new series that she is starting with Montlake. It's going to be published with Montlake, so I assume it'll probably be on Kindle Unlimited with the read and listen function, which I'm very excited for. I love the cover for this one. This one comes out right at the end of December, so I think it's obviously it's going to most likely arrive with me in January, but it comes out like right at the end of December. And this one, it's a gripping romance set in 1983 where a woman's search for the truth about her father's death entangles her with the small town sheriff and a legend of lost Montana gold. Living in Dalton, Montana was not what I had planned for this winter, but after my father's sudden death, I uprooted my life to move into his tiny lakeside cabin and settle his estate. My friends tell me to sell this place and move on, but this winter is my chance to say goodbye, to remember a man who'd loved tales of Montana lore. Taking a temporary teaching job seemed like the perfect way to keep myself busy on lonely days. Cleaning out the cabin should have been simple, except the more I learn about my father's life, the more questions I have about his death. The last thing I need is a crush on Sheriff Cozy Rains. Not only is his son my student, but his life is rooted in Montana, while mine is headed anywhere else. Yet as I uncover a trail of strange clues Dad left behind about a lost legend of Montana gold, staying away from Cozy is not an option. Cozy, I think. Neither is denying the attraction between us, and my winter of healing becomes a race for answers. I came to Montana to bury the past. Now I'm falling for the man who might just be my future. And either I'll solve this mystery, or the person in Dalton determined to hide the truth will make sure I die trying. So that sounds really good. It's obviously going to be a bit of romantic suspense, which I always enjoy. Sorry, that's just a book falling over. But yeah, looking forward to getting into that one. I really enjoy Devney Perry's books. Then we have Chasing Home by Piper Rain. This is book 6 in the Plain Daisy Ranch series. And this one is, looks like it's maybe a surprise pregnancy, perhaps. It says, it was straight out of a rom-com until 2 pink lines changed everything. Xander Shaw is a country music's hottest star, so when he singled me out of a packed arena and had me pulled backstage, I should have known I wasn't his forever. One signed NDA later, I was sneaking out onto his tour bus, wrapped up in his world and him, but it ended before it really started when he ghosted me. Then he shows up on my family's ranch to film his new music video, a surprise to us both. Now I'm his appointed tour guide around the ranch, stuck sharing all my favourite places with the man who carelessly discarded me. The more time we spend together, the harder it is to guard my heart, because his flirty half smile makes me forget my anger. But Xander's made it clear he's not looking to ride it out into the sunset with anyone, which would be fine if I wasn't carrying his baby. So sounds interesting. I don't mind a surprise baby, so I look forward to getting into that one. Then we have The Flirting Game by Lauren Blakely. This is book 6 in the Love and Hockey series. I have actually only read one of the books in this series, but I had a great time with it, so I do want to check out the rest of the books. And this one is obviously, as I say, a hockey book series, and it says, revenge was the plan. Falling for the hockey star next door wasn't. My new neighbour is a hot, grumpy hockey player who works out shirtless on his porch every morning. But it's not technically spying if I just happen to be on my patio at the same time, right? Imagine my surprise when the sexy grouch turns out to be the client who just hired me to redecorate the house he's giving his mum. What's a ray of sunshine like me to do? Pretend I've never noticed his abs while we pick out furniture, since I'd never date a client. And Ford's made it clear this is his final season and he wants zero distractions, which means I need to exercise some serious resistance to his cool blue eyes that track my every move, to that deep voice that makes me shiver, and to the mouth that shuts me up one night in our shared backyard with a scorching kiss. We agree it's a one-time slip-up until my cheating ex invites me to a party and Ford insists on being my revenge date. Our fake night out turns into a very real sleepover. Now the press and fans think we're a couple, so we keep it up. One fake date at a charity gala turns into another at a hockey game, and somewhere between fabric swatches and porch picnics, I stop pretending. But how do I convince Ford that with me he can have both love and hockey? So it's a neighbours to lovers, hockey romance, workplace romance, revenge fake dating, romantic comedy. Sounds perfect. I am very much looking forward to getting into that one. As I've said previously, I've been really liking Lauren Blakely's books this year. Then we have The Mating Game by Lena Ferguson, and this one is, I think, about wolf shifters. Yeah, so it's two wolf shifters reluctant to love discover there's no fighting the call of the wild in this steamy romance by Lena Ferguson. So I am interested to check out this. I have yet to read any Lena Ferguson books, but I do keep hearing good things about it, so I'm interested to see what I make of this one. Looking at the cover, you'd never get that this is a wolf shifter romance, apart from like the little footprints in the snow, but I'm definitely interested to read more wolf shifter romances. Obviously I read Mate and I really enjoyed that, so I'm interested to get to that one. Then we have We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. This is book 1 in the Empire of Blood series, which is a new series that she's writing. I've not read anything from her before. And this is a slow burn romantasy set in a Roman-inspired world ruled by merciless vampires. So another vampire book. You know I have to have this on my list. I love vampires and I'm definitely intrigued to check out a Roman-inspired vampire book. So that sounds interesting. So hopefully I'll like that. Then we have The Bodyguard Affair by Amy Lee. I've read a few books from Amy Lee and I've had a good time with them. And this one is a secret romance writer discovers that the hottest story of the summer might just be the one happening between her and the Prime Minister's bodyguard. From the so it's a romance author getting with a bodyguard. Sounds very interesting. Oh, it's also got fake dating as well, which is very interesting. Oh, it does look like it's going to feature a parent with Alzheimer's, which does seem to be a really big thing this year in so many contemporary romances. At least one of the there's been quite a few where one of the main characters has had a parent that has been dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia, and I don't necessarily love that. I would like to hope that that doesn't continue into 2026, because there's been a lot this year that have featured that. But I am still wanting to check that one out. Then we have Something Wicked by Fallon Ballard. This one is book 1 in the Idle Reputation series. Now I saw the cover for this and I think there was a bit of a tagline for it that I was interested in, but looking at the average rating, it's got 3.24, which is very low. And again, this one only came out at the beginning of the month, and to have that as the average rating already, it makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm still interested to check it out. This one says it's a seductive romantasy that blends Macbeth and Moulin Rouge, which sounds really interesting, to be honest. Like, it's an interesting combination of things, so I am definitely looking forward to picking that one up at some point, just to see what I make of it, and hopefully I enjoy it. Then we have The EMMA Effect by Leah Riley. And this one is a sports romance. And this says Jane Austen meets Ali Hazelwood in this steamy Friends to Lovers STEM rom-com. So sounds interesting. I love Friends to Lovers. That's one of my favourite tropes, as well as the single dad trope. So I have high hopes for this one. I've not read anything by this author before, but she writes a lot of sports romances, and this is the second book in the Regal's hockey series. Then we have Tender Cruelty by Katie Robert, which is book 9 in the Dark Olympus series. I'm not up to date on this series by any means, but I am I have read the first 2 books in the series, and I do like the series, so I will be continuing on. Because it's book 9, I'm not going to read too much of the synopsis because I don't want to be spoiled for things that have happened in the previous books, but I would recommend this series if you are looking for a Greek gods sort of reimagining type thing. Katie Roberts done a few of those, and this series is you know, I think it's coming to a close. Can't remember how many books she had planned for it. There's definitely going to be another book, so I think book 10 could be the last one, but she's been writing for it for a while, and I'm so behind. I need to catch up. I do have the box set of the first 6 or so books, so I need to catch up, so I might try and make that a priority in 2026. Then we have Better in Black by Cassandra Clare, and this, I believe, is a collection of short stories set in the Shadowhunter world. Now, I used to read Cassandra Clare's books all the time. I read the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices, the Dark Artifices, and I read the first book in the what was the name of the series? I can't remember. Let me just have a quick look. The Last Hours trilogy. I read the first book in that and then didn't continue on, and I would like to get back into her books because I did have such a good time with them. So in 2026 I do plan to reread Chain of Gold, which is the first book in The Last Hours, so that I can continue and wrap up that trilogy. And then I also have the I can't remember, the Lost Son or something like that. I can't remember what that one's called. I'll put it on screen, but I think that one follows Magnus, and I'm definitely interested to check that one out. I own those books on my shelf, and a big thing that I want to do in 2026 is trying to focus on my physical TBR and reading books that I've had for a really long time, or if I'm not going to read them, getting rid of them, so I can make space on my bookshelves for all the other books that I've been hauling this year. So that is something that I want to do, and I definitely want to get back into Cassandra Clare's books because I had such a good time with them. Then we have The Madman and His Broken Princess by Cora Riley. I really like Cora Riley's writing, and I'm definitely looking forward to a new release from her. And this will be a mafia romance of some description. I think it sounds like it's going to be a forced or arranged marriage, so interested to check this one out. I haven't read anything from Cora Riley for a little while. I don't think she's published anything too recently, but I really enjoyed the what is it called, the Born in Blood Mafia Chronicles series, which I'm not up to date with, but I'm interested to check out hers. She writes obviously darker mafia books. Then we have Sweet Dough by Melissa McSherry and Dana Lian. This one is part of the Wrecked series. It's Wrecked number 4, and I read one of their books for the first time in October, which I read like a novella in for my novella video, and this is part of the same series. Obviously it's book number 4, and I did have a good time with it. I can't remember what that book was called though. And Carving for Kara, and I think this series is made up of 2 duets. So there's Carving for Kara and Little Nightmare. I think they follow the same couple, and then Slaying for Sloane and this one, Sweet Dough, I think follow the same couple, like another couple. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to check that out. Obviously I'll need to have read the other ones first, but I wanted to mention it here. Then we have a Whisper of Secrecy by Darcy Burke. This is book 5 in the Raven and Wren series, and before you ask, no, I'm not up to date with this series, but I do want to really get into this series. It is a historical mystery romance series following these 2 private investigators. I think they have a romance as well, but each book I think has a different mystery. I haven't read these yet, but I do really love Darcy Burke and I want to support her, so I will at some point be picking these up. I do have them on my TBR to check out. Then we have Sweet Venom by Rena Kent, which is book 2 in the Vipers series. I've not read book 1, but I've heard really good things about it, and I do want to check this one out. This one is a dark stalker hockey romance. So Rena Kent writes dark romances, and I do want to give her books a try because they are super popular. This one says it can be read on its own, but she does just suggest that you read Beautiful Venom first, and I do tend to like to read my series in order for the most part, but that one is on my list to check out. Then we have At Wit's End by Bailey Hannah, which is book 4 in the Wells Ranch series. Again, I'm not up to date, but I do definitely want to check this one out. This one is a single mum romance with a cowboy, and I love single parent romances. I do prefer single dad romances, if I'm being 100% honest, but I do enjoy single mum ones as well, and I'm definitely wanting to pick up this series. It is like a cowboy small town romance series, which I absolutely love. Then we have Duke by Jessica Peterson, and this is book 4 in the Lucky River Ranch series. This series I haven't read yet, but I've heard so many good things that when I saw a new book was coming out, I needed to write it down and mention it. And this one says it is sounds like it's a one night romance thing. It's got a best friend's boyfriend's brother, forced proximity, found family, small town, and cowboy romance. So that sounds perfect. I do want to give this one a try because I've heard nothing but good things about this series, and I think I just saw that the Works had got the first book in this series, so I might be picking that up so I can give it a try. And then I've just got 2 books left to mention, and the next one is Her Time Traveling Duke by Bryn Donovan, and this one is says magic meets science and sunshine meets grumpy when a love spell whisks a Regency era duke to modern times. So this sounds really interesting. It's a time travel romance, which I've not read a ton of those. So I'm interested to see what I make of this one, and yeah, I saw this one pop up on Goodreads. I was like, that sounds interesting, I'll add that to my list. And then the last one I have is How My Ex Stole New Year's by Kate Callahan. This is book 3 in the Village of Yule series, which again I'm not up to date with, but I had a fantastic time reading the first book, so as soon as I saw there's a new book coming, I was like, I need to write that down. And this is a Rockstar and Baker New Year's Eve, one bed, one night, exes to lovers, wedding weekend drama, snowed in together, forced proximity romance, and that sounds absolutely perfect. And the cover for this is so cute that I just had to mention it. So they are all of the books that I have on my radar that are coming out in December that I do want to check out at some point. I probably won't get to these in December, I'm going to be 100% honest, but I do want to check them out at some point, and I always like to keep a record of what's coming out each month. Let me know what you're looking forward to in December, if you've read any of these yet. Obviously we're a few days into December now, so some of these have already come out, so let me know if you've read any, and let me know what you're looking forward to this month, and I will see you in my next video.